Hello everybody, welcome back to Crypto Atlas. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. It's nice to have you guys here. If you're a returning viewer, then hopefully you're going to find a lot of new useful information that maybe you didn't notice before. And I got a lot of stuff to try and cover, and I'm going to try and cover it in hopefully a short amount of time. And hopefully I don't stumble too much. I try to keep these videos very raw for you guys. If you enjoy this content, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. My big goal, I'm really trying to push for 1,000 subscribers, and every bit helps. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to hit the like button. The more likes that we get, the more comments that you guys leave, the higher the search and discoverability for this video on YouTube with their algorithm. So especially if you want other people to know what this information is that I'm sharing with Orchid, then it's very important that you hit that like button and you drop a comment down below. I do the best I can to read through everything, and let's go ahead and get right on into this. So there's a new article that came out with Orchid, and this is in regards to just a little bit of market analysis research that they've done in the future of what the VPN industry space is, and I kind of wanted to correlate realistically where Orchid sort of falls in place with all of this, and to give you guys some things to be relatable to it. So again, there's a lot of information. I'm trying to do the best that I can to organize all this for you. Let's go ahead and take a look first at the coin market cap side for Orchid's price. It's listed around 44 cents, and there's been a lot of debate about whether or not this market capitalization, the circulating supply, is actually legitimate. I'm doing the best I can to try and research into this, and I wanted to share with you guys some of the stuff that I have discovered. So what is interesting is that if you go look over on CoinGecko, they don't even show you a market cap. In fact, it doesn't show you anything in circulating supply either. They don't know. But over on Coin Market Cap, they're willing to disclose something here, 65 million with a market cap of $29 million as well. And 44 cents a piece. I actually did the math on this, but I rounded it up just slightly to the 44 cents. Technically, I rounded down, but 44 cents times the amount in circulating supply comes out to this market cap. So their math looks like that's just fine as far as that goes. And when we go take a look at the actual Orchid website, the orchid.com, they have a little disclaimer here, and it says that there's 313 million Orchid or OXT that's been released as of August 17th, 2020. When you take a look at this chart right here, you can see the different release dates, but they also specify at the very top, released to date. And what I did is I went ahead and combined all these areas from the light blue to the dark blue, not including the network incentives, and that actually had came out to, that was 73,933,697, which that alone, if that is true, is actually higher than the circulating supply. We're looking at roughly 8 million. 8 million more than what's being displayed here. So take that into consideration. If you factor in the other 40.5 million that's being identified here, get back to my chart, the other 40.5 million right there, if that was to be combined, that'd be 114.4 million, which would be quite considerably more than this. That would be more than, well, approximately double. It's pretty close to coming up to double the actual circulating supply. And when you're trying to factor in price growth for these things, it is pretty important. So as far as discrepancies go, from what I could tell, yeah, there are discrepancies from what's being displayed on CoinMarketCap. And if anybody happens to be watching this that works with Orchid, please, by all means, can you clarify this in a tweet? Can you clarify it in a blog post? Reference something in the comments down below. I'd love to be able to pin something like that so that people get way more clarification on where we are currently at for sure in the circulating supply, because looking at this chart, it's confusing to me. I know it's going to be confusing to a lot of other people. Some of you guys might get this, but it's going to for sure confuse a lot of people, and I think the general public just wants it to be more transparent. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. Now we're going to get over to the next tab. I feel that this is going to be a lot more smooth. I can clear things out as I move through and I don't get caught up in these tabs. Looking through this article, let's go ahead and read the article, and I've highlighted for you guys some of the key aspects, and I'm going to kind of bounce back and forth just a little bit here. Title of the article is What the Global VPN Market's Explosive Growth Means for Orchid. The global VPN market, currently valued at $29.2 billion, is projected to grow to almost $90 billion by 2027, an annual growth rate of over 15%. Every year growing 15% as of its current format. Remember that we're dealing with the new industry space with cryptocurrency. The whole idea of decentralization is actually a booming idea. A lot more people like the idea of having more privacy, especially when you take a look at some of the charts here, and they identify even here that over in places like China, that they are getting tired of the forms of censorship that's going on, right? But let's go ahead and focus on this $29.2 billion for a second. Where does that place Orchid? If Orchid is at $29 million, let's just say it is, okay? At $29 million, the percentage of that into the entire VPN industry space, it would only account for 0.1%. 0.1. Now let's take a look at something like Tesla. And some of you guys might be thinking that that's kind of a high-end reaching thing, but let's kind of backtrack for a second. We're not going to be talking about Tesla 2020. We're going to be talking about what Tesla's performance was in 2019, last year, in regards to the automotive industry space. We all know that Tesla has had insane growth this year. A lot of people think that it's going to have that bubble pop, but we had other things that we've seen announced with Tesla. They've got that Neuralink, they've got SpaceX. There's been a lot of other technological developments. And it's just safe to say that if we go back a year, there's a lot more of a relationship that we can kind of see. So as far as for their footprint in the automotive industry space, they had a 1.3% foothold. 1.3%. Remember, you got 100% total. They only had a little bit over 1%. And look at how powerful they are now. The potential for growth from even the 1.3% is absolutely astronomical. And that's like really, really reaching for it though. But if we pull it way back, something like a 1.3%, that seems more realistic. So from being at 0.1% right now, woo, boy, you are looking at quite a bit of an increase. So let's just say, hypothetically, and I got something in my throat, sorry about that. Let's just say hypothetically that it was 1.3% of the footprint of that $29 billion that's being identified right here, the 29.2, but we're saying $29 billion, okay? 1.3% of that, you're looking at $377 million. $377 million as compared to the $29 million that's being currently listed here. If we went to the 1%, or sorry, the 0.1% of, where did I get this number from? This is why I said that I was trying to keep everything organized as best. Oh, I know why. All right, now let's go ahead and pull back for just a second here. We're gonna pull back to the article. Projected to grow to almost 90 billion by 2027. So in the short term, something like a 1.3% would take you from the $29 million, and we would see that move all the way up to being $377 million. That's quite an exponential increase. I mean, what we're looking at about, it's like, I believe that's 13 times, right? 13 times higher. I did a lot of math today. You can clarify with this if I'm wrong, but regardless, 377 million compared to 29 million. It is an exponential increase, which obviously would have quite a dramatic increase in its price for Orchid. And that's just being that's being 1.3% of the entire VPN industry space. Think about the application of what Orchid is trying to reach out to do. Keep in mind that it's a token, and it has so much broad appeal to kind of collectively bring the industry space together, not independently, not being its own independent section and fitting alongside these. It's bringing them together. So 1.3%, in my personal opinion, again, it's just my opinion, is really lowballing it. And I think this is actually a good point. I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, but keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. So the stuff that I'm sharing with you guys, this is for educational purposes. You should always go do further research. You can double check the facts on some of the stuff that I'm saying as far as the numbers go. You're welcome to disagree with anything I'm saying. I'm just doing a lot of research. I personally believe in Orchid, and I think it's got a great future, and it's very promising. I want to lay out more, and I'm continuing to do research, and that's why I think it's important to do videos like this, to really identify just what kind of potential does it have in the short term and in the long term. What is its applications? Where's the demand coming in from? Trying to actually clarify what the real supply number is and seeing what percentage of growth that we really could be looking for. So now we go into the 90 billion. I know I kind of dabbled into that for a second, so sorry about that. It's a lot of numbers, and so it's hard for me to organize when I'm doing all this. $90 billion by 2027. So that's 7 years from now. Not even a decade. We're looking at almost a 3 times increase in the industry space based on the trends that's happened up until now. Trends can change. Industry spaces can have a large boom, and those percentages could actually dramatically go up. I think it is more likely than less likely that if a percentage chance was to change, it's much more in favor that people would want to have VPNs than people to say, I no longer want a VPN. So based on where we're at right now, if that was to continue on, then it is projected to grow to $90 billion. But I also believe that there's a chance, very more likely, that it could be worth more than that. This is based on an average calculation that they had calculated for that. So $90 billion. Let's take a look at that. What if we did the 0.1%? Now we're looking on the low end. Just the low end. Not even the 1.3%, right? 0.1%, which is where it's at this exact moment, as far as the whole industry space. If it stayed the same, that would mean that by the year 2027, that the market cap would be worth 90 million. It'd be worth $90 million. So you'd be looking at about 3 times higher price, right? And that bring you out to $90 million divided by the current circulating supply. Again, that's also going to change, but we're just saying based on as of the moment, you're looking at like $1.36. Okay, $1.36 compared to 44 cents. You'd have to wait 7 years, but this is just kind of pulling everything on a lower end. The circulating supply is going to increase. We saw that off of their website. So we do know that in the next 7 years that number is going to change, and we are, of course, trying to get full clarification. But based on numbers that you're seeing right here, right now, hopefully this can give you guys a better direction, a better idea. Just to sort of start with. What else do I have up here for you guys ready to go? Percentage increase from 44 cents to $1.36, which is the $1.36 we were just now talking about. If that was to happen, that's a 209% increase. You'd have to wait 7 years, and kind of like close to the worst case scenario of what's realistic, right? If the Orchid had no more of a dominance with the industry space, it just stayed completely static for 7 years. I mean, the odds of it staying completely static are so small, but it is potential, and it's something for you at least to think about. But you can use this as kind of a marker icon if you think about, right? 209% increase on anything, that's pretty good. In the end, I mean, 209% increase, though, with inflation 7 years from now. Oh, God, maybe this isn't that good. But this would probably adjust, too, with the market in the industry space if inflation occurred anyway. So I guess it's still pretty relatable, right? Let's go ahead and read through the rest of the article. An annual growth rate of over 15%. VPNs are one of the fastest growing areas of the technology space, as well as of the global economy more broadly. There are now more than 1 billion VPN users around the world, and this number is poised to multiply. That is a really bold claim to say when you've got, 7 billion people on the entire planet? Right? The entire planet. So they're claiming about 1/7, 1 out of every 7 people uses a VPN. How frequently that they use them, I think that's where the discrepancy can kind of come in. Maybe you use it very, very nonchalantly, but it's, according to them, they're saying that about 1 billion people are using VPNs. People are turning to VPNs for reasons as diverse as their own lives, livelihoods, and interests, while Orchid is designed to be unable to collect data on users. A few have been kind enough to share their experiences using the app in various countries around the world. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys read the rest of this article. I'll keep a link in the description down below. Let's go ahead and focus on some of the other key elements in this, just to kind of conserve on the time in the video for you, okay? Because I'm sure there's other articles and videos you guys want to still check out. And so we got over here, it says that a key factor driving VPN growth everywhere is the expanding use of mobile and wireless devices around the world. And really think about that for a second. The price point is going down as technology capabilities are going up. And when you think of third world countries and they're starting to get resources that, although it's kind of late, it's getting them more in touch with the rest of the world. And it's more easy for them to be able to get these things because the price has been dropping more and more, right? So even poor people can get access to certain things. And then you got developments like what Elon Musk is trying to do to make it so that the rest of the world has cheap, free internet. So you could be trying to connect to the internet anywhere from the world. In a sense, that's actually a good thing from what he's doing. Other people can argue about, like, you can't see the stars and take pictures and I mean, that's a whole other debate on that subject. Focusing on this, in no country do more than 1/3 of internet users report using a VPN in the past month. And in most places, the number is less than 20%. With an estimated 4.3 billion internet users around the world, a figure that grows by the day, billions of new people may begin to seek out a VPN service in the next few years. When you take a look at their chart here, they're identifying that from China alone, you're looking at the percentage of population that uses a VPN, it's over 18%, 18.64%. South Korea coming in at number 2, Japan, United States, and in the 5th spot would be the United Kingdom. Japan having the lowest percentage based on this chart at 6.55%. And yeah, so as far as for the future of this industry space, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you feel that VPNs are not only going to be more in demand, but do you think that with the adaptation of, or the adaptation, actually, which one is that the appropriate way to say that? I think it's the adaptation of the technological space. Do you feel that VPNs are going to be built into a lot of the new mechanics that come out in the future? I know Brave Browser, they were talking about them having a built-in VPN, and you look at all these other companies that Orchid is essentially working alongside, right? So to me, this is all very bullish. This information is very, very bullish, very promising of a higher increase in the price. And, you know, 1.3%, what if it exceeds that? What if this hit 5%? What if it hit 20%? Because remember, it's not its own independent VPN. It's taking the VPNs that are already out there and finding a way to create a form of chemistry and relationship amongst them so that you as an independent user are essentially using their services, but in a more private, more secure fashion, which is ultimately your goal and Orchid's goal, to be able to surf the internet and do what you need to do while having your own privacy and being more secure and privatizing your data, right? So I think it's very important. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, I know it's a little bit long, but hopefully you liked it. If you haven't yet liked it, why not? I just spent 19 minutes going through all this information. Love you guys. Oh, wow. Somebody apparently just subscribed to my channel right there. That was a little pop-up alert for that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are trying really hard to get over there to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Every single one of you guys is so valuable, and you don't even realize it. Maybe you do, but if you didn't, well, now you know. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for returning users. Those of you guys that are new, it's nice to meet you guys. I hope to see you again, and drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on what I said inside this video. And if you have anything else that you think could be very valuable to a future video talking about this, if there's another cryptocurrency that you want me to try and look at, do you think is very promising, that's kind of under the radar, I could take it into consideration for sure. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode.